What's going on, guys? Phil here from Custom Offsets, Custom Offsets TV on YouTube. I polled the Instagram people and said I'm going to ask a Cummins owner 10 questions. That's this guy over here. We're not going to introduce him, though, because that's the first question. Who are you? What do you drive?
My name is Brian, and I drive a 2012 Ram 2500.
What's done to this 2500?
It's got an 8-inch McGaughy's lift, 2414 Archons, and 40-inch Furies.
That's it?
It's got custom tunes on it. It's got, I blew the drive shaft up, so I did a big one-piece aluminum. I got Morimoto XP headlights, big Gen Y hitch, and I think that, I got some Flight Fab track bars and tow hooks, and that's about it.
Yeah, pretty much covers it, but it's absolutely massive. So
yeah, it's big.
I think it'll be an appropriate selection here for the questions.
I definitely think so.
What makes a Cummins better than a DURAMAX or POWERSTROKE?
That's a tough one considering I owned a Super Duty. Duramaxes are great. I don't like the independent front suspension personally. I think it's one of their biggest fallbacks. Any hot shotter won't usually run one. Super Duties are great if that's your thing, but they're definitely not mine. That's just what makes them better, is because they're better.
This time with the questions, like when I did the Chevy owner and the Ford owner, I think I was a little bit too aggressive. That's why I just took some Instagram questions here, so we don't have to pick on them too much. What's the deal with rolling coal? Why are you Cummins owners just driving everywhere, rolling coal on people? I
think it started with the 12 valves. 12 valves, you just crank the fuel screw and it literally just dumps more fuel down the rail and into the engine. But it usually comes down to like tuning. Tuning's a big one. Like my truck doesn't really roll that much coal in my opinion compared to most. It's just got a better, cleaner tune to it.
No, but that cleaner's not better. You need to roll coal.
Well, Greta Thunberg told me I couldn't roll coal, so I had to redo my tune.
Oh,
for her.
Shame.
I don't want to ruin childhoods.
Just exactly how long and how heavy is the Ghost trailer that you're towing with your mirrors?
I would have to wager a bet it's probably like 45,000 pounds.
Really?
Pretty big,
45,000?
Yeah. I don't know if you see my latest Instagram post of the 2020 setup, but the hitch is on the ground.
Sure.
But the tow mirrors are still out, which is probably the best part.
Because that trailer is so heavy, that's why it's squatted like that? See, I thought you had pulled the blocks out of the rear, but it turns out that's just the Ghost trailer?
It is still the Ghost trailer, yep.
Okay.
The trailer's still attached. I cannot find the detach mechanism for it.
Gotcha. So, do you actually like Ram trucks, or is it just because of the engine? And if that's the case, why don't you just have a Titan XD Cummins?
Ooh. I like the way they look. Their interiors nowadays are a lot better. Super Duties were a lot better for a long time, as well as GM.
But now the new 2019s and 2020s are hot.
I believe JD Power just did their thing, and Ram was #1 for all around everything.
I think it's Motor Trend Truck of the Year.
Maybe.
Get it right.
I didn't look. But having Ram go from like the worst interior to the best and best styling, and they look super sharp now. They're arguably, in my opinion, the best looking truck. Yeah. I don't remember your question.
I think that was it.
Okay.
Just, do you actually like Ram trucks, or do you only have it because it's Cummins?
Oh, yes, as well. Cummins is great too.
How many transmission problems have you had?
So when I did my tune, I didn't know that I was supposed to drive like 30 miles in town in heavy traffic. So I had to relearn that twice because the tuning retunes the transmission as well. So that was fun. That was a great experience. Past that, I haven't experienced anything yet, which is surprising with 40s and factory 373 rear gears on a 68.
You haven't had it or been driving it that long, so I really can't pick on the transmission problems too much, but that is the one thing that I feel like people constantly brought up. There's probably 40 people on Instagram that were like, ask him about his transmission, ask him about his transmission.
So the biggest one is like 68 RFEs are notorious for blowing 5th and 6th gear apart because they're single-sided clutch discs, and they're only coated on one side, so they are notorious for going out. And like, let's say I'm cruising from like, Oshkosh to Ripon, my truck will never go into 6th gear because it doesn't get high enough in the RPM range to shift. In town though, it still lights them up, but I'm fully prepared to replace the 68 RFE with a 48.
There you go. So, do you dodge or do you ram?
What are we dodging and ramming?
Yes.
Yeah, you do. You dodge them and then you ram the other one.
Really?
Yes.
Must be a Cummins thing. What's your favorite generation of Cummins?
Well, up until the 5th gen, the 4th gen was my favorite.
Which is why you own one?
And then the 5th gens came out.
Which is why you bought headlights that look like 5th gen headlights.
Yeah, so I'm trying to sell my truck for a 5th gen sooner than later.
Here's a good one. What do you spend every month on fuel?
Oh.
Which is kind of hard because it's been stuck in your shop now for a while.
No, it's not, because I still remember the fuel consumption. It's like $450 a month in fuel.
So I guess what's your miles per gallon?
Hand calculated, I believe, if you combine all the months, it was about 9 on a good month.
Honestly, not as bad as I was expecting.
It's terrible when it used to get like 22.
Yeah.
And then you put a trailer behind it, it gets like 6 or 5 or 4. It's worse than a semi.
Oh, wow, that's bad.
Wouldn't change it for the world.
If you didn't have a Cummins, this is the last question. If you didn't have a Cummins, what would you have?
Ooh, that's a tough one, because I really want a pre-runner. I would probably buy, and I hate to say it, I would probably buy a Silverado, like Banker's body style, because they make really good pre-runner setups and suspension for them.
Yeah.
For a really good price.
And the base truck is pretty cheap now.
Yeah, you can get for like $8 grand for a high mile one.
Yep.
That's probably what I'd do. I'd probably build a pre-runner, because they're super dope, even though they're completely useless in this state.
What engine are you gonna put in it?
The stock one.
The 5.3 that comes in it?
With a turbo.
Oh.
Might as well. Light up some 37s.
Yeah.
I'm in.
All right. All right. Thanks, Rainey. That was 10 questions for Cummins owner. Rainey's a good sport. We didn't pick on him too much because you guys got angry last time I picked on the Ford guys and the Chevy guys. So that's it. Wheelstar Suspension, CustomHouses.com. Peace. Pow.